All right, friends, let's get into some movies. Let's get into some movie reviews. We are going to be talking about Deadpool first, and then we'll be going into our other one later. We are going to cover this full review, spoilers, non-spoilers, spoiler review, whatever. We are going to do a non-spoiler review first, so if for some reason you guys haven't seen Deadpool and you don't want to be spoiled, and you care, no worries. I'm going to give you a hard cutoff of when we're going into spoiler territory so you can duck out, check this back out at your leisure later, and you can join me in the comment section below and we can talk about all the fun stuff. So no worries there. So let's talk about Deadpool. All right, non-spoilers. Deadpool was a really fun time. I had a blast with this movie. Obviously a lot of interesting elements going into this movie with being a rated R film, keeping with that of the Deadpool stuff, being a Disney Deadpool movie. And yeah, just a lot of questions of like, how's this movie going to do? Are they going to do it justice? And I think they certainly did. This is just a continuation of, what the Deadpool movies have given us. I've enjoyed Deadpool 1 and 2. Granted, it's been a while since I've watched both of them. I do remember enjoying the first one quite a bit. The second one I liked, but it felt more of like a rehash of the first one. But granted, this could just be my poor memory. I don't know. I don't remember a lot of elements from 2, but this one I feel really just nails it. And I know MCU lately with phase, what are we on, 5 now? 4 and 5, it's been very hit or miss, very divisive. And that could just be the high bar that we set, obviously, with wrapping up Infinity War, Endgame, blah, blah, blah. All that jazz. It's hard to keep that momentum after because the bar is set so high. It could just be that. But I think this was a step in the right direction. Whether it's technically going to tie into anything in the main stuff, I don't know. But I really enjoyed what this film had to offer, and I think it's a fun time. You don't need that connective tissue with the rest of the Marvel movies, so if you just want to go in and have a fun time with it, will you be rewarded in some aspects? Yes, of course, certainly. But I think you could just go in there, have a lot of fun with it. It does have, being rated R has the violence aspect to it, has the jokes, some very over the top, but it's been a blast. So there's the non-spoiler stuff. I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed talking with people who have seen it and just hearing them gush over what they loved about it. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun with it. And now we are going to get into spoiler territory, talking everything about this movie, or at least, just no holds barred. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, this is the time to duck out. I will give you 3 seconds. Uno, dos, tres. Wow, this one's not a joke this time. Did you believe that Superman was in this movie? Henry Cavill showing up. Holy shit. All right, so Deadpool, insane. Obviously, we had a lot of we had a lot of cameos in this movie, a lot of crazy things we didn't expect to see, and leading into the film, we had a lot of speculation, I guess you could say, of like who's going to show up in this film, and I think this movie delivered on a lot of those cameos and surprisingly kept quite a few of them secret, which is quite a surprise for, the scale of the person. Now, maybe I'm just talking from my experience. I saw nothing. No spoilers or anything like that. I only saw X-23 in that second or third trailer, which I was fine with, but outside of her, I didn't see anything, which I appreciated. I saw everything like after I saw it, and that could have just been, checking which part of X I'm looking at or whatever it is, but very fortunate I didn't get it spoiled for me, and it just really added to the experience. So let's just talk about the cameos. I'm sure there's definitely certain ones that I am forgetting, so chat. If there's anything you got, let me know. In the comment section, let me know as well. Okay, so non-character spoiler or cameos. So I did want to have the comic with me, but sadly I do not. But we did have the Secret Wars comic, which we saw in the initial trailer. We did have the helicarrier in the background. We had an old Fantastic Four vehicle. We had the Fox 20th Century logo in there. Characters. We had Happy Hogan. We had Thor, ? We had Hulk. We had OG Brown and Yellow Wolverine. We had Short Wolverine. We had Days of Future Past Wolverine. We had Patch. We had Henry Cavill Wolverine. We had Captain America? No, we had Human Torch. We had Sabretooth. We had Toad. We had Pyro. We had Azazel. We had OG Juggernaut. Lady Deathstrike. Ant-Man being dead. Odin's Throne? ? We had Eliath. We had Handsome Deadpool. Scarlet Witch statue from Multiverse of Madness. We had Elektra. We had Blade. We had, I'm about to make a name for myself, Gambit, Channing Tatum. We had X-23. We had the Punisher mentioned. We had the Sling Ring from Doctor Strange. We had Lady Pool. And we had the Wolverine mask. Holy shit. So many. Very fun to have. We had seen, which I think led to the speculation of cameos, we had seen in the initial trailer some of the villains that were going to be making an appearance here with OG Sabretooth, with Toad, with some of the original X-Men characters that people were kind of finding in the trailers and picking apart. It was cool to see a lot of these people make it back, and I think it was genius in terms of how the story was told. It wasn't just like, let's throw it in there. It made sense. It made sense for the story they were telling, and having Deadpool get involved with the TVA, using that to have this freedom to play around with the different characters, with the multiverse, stuff going on. Let's take these characters from Fox. Let's take these characters from, not Sony, but, I guess other Fox stuff. Take those characters that we're not going to see again because the movies are, 1, old, and 2, different continuities. Take these characters, throw them in there, have some fun with it, make jokes at Disney buying Fox, as we saw with Deadpool at the TVA early on. Like, have these fun moments just for people who have been with this, like, superhero movies since the 2000s, when we tried to do this resurgence that kind of kicked off what the MCU would be with those original X-Men films and Blade, and reward those people and just have fun with it. And I think it was great. It added that element to it. I know some people are like, they just relied on, the surprise factor and the gimmicks of it. And to those people I say, yeah, okay, but also, can you enjoy things, please? Like, who cares? Really? Like, we're not making cinematic masterpieces here. We're making a fun experience for people to enjoy. And it's not like the story didn't have a plot and substance behind it. It did. Do I think it was the best thing ever? No. But it did have a decent story with it. We just had a lot of fun along the way. So it was very rewarding to see these things. Cool to see Elektra back. Cool to see Blade back. Seeing Gambit for the first time. Obviously that's been a rumor for a while. And when that rumor was going around that Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit, personally, I was not for it. But seeing him here, probably with a lot of people, were like, damn, they did a really good job and showed respect to the characters. Now I'm just going to cut to this quick because we're talking about them. I know I'm jumping all around. Hope you didn't want a very in-order synopsis here. I'm glad they kind of respected these characters too. It was not a multiverse of madness thing. Now, I'm not saying that movie did it wrong. We already go back to that Marvel Plus episode. I enjoyed that they got wrecked by Scarlet Witch. It was needed. It was needed to make her threat. It was a woohoo, and then, oh fuck, we're screwed. We needed that. It worked there. I'm really glad they didn't do that again here. I got scared when we got to Cassandra Nova's little Ant-Man base. Like, they're all setting up for a fight, and we're just going to go, boop, Cassandra's going to rip them apart. No, thank God. We got the moments with him. And Channing Tatum did fucking awesome as Gambit. He's got the bow staff. He's got the kinetic charge with the cards, flipping and dipping around. Looked great. Could we have done some more with the other three? Yes. But Gambit got his moment, damn it, and it looked cool. X-Men 97. I'm wearing this shirt. Anyways. Those cameos are really cool. I appreciated seeing the old X-Men villains, R.I.P. Sabretooth getting his head decapitated immediately by Wolverine. That was a little sad. But just cool to have them around. And like I said, it made sense because they were all, Purged? Not Purged. I don't remember the TVA, what the sticks do to get them to where the trash heap of Goliath is. But it was like I said, it all logically made sense. Oh, yeah, that multiverse doesn't exist anymore. Let's throw them in there. It's a fun way to throw those elements in. The Human Torch thing, brilliant. Just the suspense building to that moment. Sorry for banging on the table. The suspense building to that moment. Awesome. You get Deadpool and Wolverine get purged, for a lack of a better term, because I can't think of it. They get thrown in the trash dump. Oh no, bad guys are coming. You hear a voice out of the side or out in the distance. You better watch out, they're coming. And me sitting there in the theater going, no, it can't be. It can't be, right? You see this hooded figure jump down to the ground, superhero landing, and I'm like, oh my God, okay. They just got somebody who sounds like him. They're gonna keep the hood on here. It's gonna be Cap, and we're not gonna see his face. Chris Evans is done. He's not coming back. And then he takes the motherfucking hood off. Chris Evans with the beard. We all freak out. Deadpool's freaking out too. He's gonna say the thing. He's got the red glove on the side. Sneaky, sneaky. He's gonna say the thing. Bad guys show up. A little monologue. Okay, we're gonna kick their butt. And then, flame on! And here comes the torch. Oh, just so rewarding. Like, it was just so much fun and enjoyment and, like, silly. Yes, silly overall. But it's stupid. It's comic book movies, right? Just so much enjoyment in that moment there. Would have been awesome to see Cap? Yes, of course. But to have it, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, yeah, he was also the Human Torch. To have that, to see him in that, very cool. Obviously, we're getting Fantastic Four down the road with the actor who played is it Eddie from Stranger Things? Yes. We're going to see that iteration down the line. But to see this, does he get his shit kicked in by Pyro? Yes. Thought he was dead there. Spoiler alert, he was not. But that was just a fun moment. It was just stupid and giddy. I was just all flustered. It was a great time. Cool to see that. So those cameos are fun. The Deadpool entourage. Okay. I got spoiled probably on this one. We knew Dogpool was going to be in there, that adorable puppy. Unfortunately voted the ugliest puppy in England or something like that. Cute to see him in there. Or her. My apologies. Handsome Pool I got spoiled on. Thanks, Marvel Snap. That was just silly. To see the rest of them, in my opinion, that was probably like, low point. Fun. We got to see Blake Lively as Lady Pool. We only learned about that in the credits. I guess his kids were part of it too. One was Baby Pool, one was Kid Pool. Whatever. A fun family moment. I was hoping for a Gwen Pool there. That was me probably getting a little too greedy. But I didn't. They were just there to get brutally murdered and then regenerate. Not my favorite part, but it is what it is. Cassandra Nova, great as a villain. I don't know much personally about her, but she felt like a threat, so that was nice. I know it's typical Marvel syndrome of like, oh, here's a villain, and we get rid of them immediately. I think it makes sense, but she was cool. I liked her powers and how they demonstrated that. Trying to think of what else I want to talk about. Cool to see the different Wolverines in there. Cavill was a weird one, but just random as hell. Funny they did the short, comic accurate Wolverine. That was good. Yeah, so overall, I had a great time with it. It was just a lot of dumb fun. There's some small details in there, like the adamantium swords. I like how they put that in there, but it was kind of a blink and you miss it. If to explain like how him and Wolverine are fighting, and Wolverine's not just cutting through his blades left and right. I do have a question, and this is just a memory gap, and it could be me from like my lack of knowledge and recollection of Deadpool 2. Obviously, Cable has the time machine mechanic, right? How did Deadpool get to Happy Hogan to apply for the Avengers? How did he cross multiverses, to get to that point? That was my only hang up of we didn't really explain that. I feel like he mentioned Cable's time machine, but it's a time machine, not a multiversal jump machine. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't understand that, because that kind of set up the whole film of like, oh, he's going to go apply, which I get it, the whole Disney buyout. That's why we're doing that. He's going to go apply. He's going to get denied. Then we're going to go on the go home. Then the TVA thing's going to happen. And we're going to go search for a Wolverine, right? I get that. Okay, fine. Just that one hang up of I didn't understand how that. And it could have just been me. Could have been a disconnect. Who knows? So yeah, great time overall. There's a lot of news we could chat about, and I'll briefly touch on San Diego Comic-Con news and Disney D23 stuff in terms of Marvel. There's a trailer for Thunderbolts. There's a trailer for Daredevil Born Again. We're ditching Kang. Way to go, Jonathan Majors, being a piece of trash, dropping him like nothing. So we're not doing the whole Kang thing, so now we got to steer that away. Kind of wish we just recasted. We got Robert Downey Jr. being fucking Doctor Doom. Okay, I mean, cool. I'm curious, and I wanted to talk about this and have the comic book issue with me, but is that why they put the Secret Wars issue in there with Deadpool in the Eliath area? Is to kind of hint that Doom was going to be taking over. I don't know. If so, clever. I did read that storybook line years ago when it first came out, but I do not recall what happens. I know it does center around Doom quite a bit, but I'll definitely need to revisit that. And then we got the trailer for Captain America Serpent Society? Looks cool. We got Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. Question, though, for the class. Sam Wilson, Falcon, doesn't have the super soldier serum, right? How's he throwing the shield so hard? That's my question. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. But a lot of cool stuff coming out of San Diego and D23. People are excited again. Hopefully we can keep that going. I think we're relatively close to Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, and Secret Wars. I think that's 26, 27, 25, 26. I don't remember. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of news of those things going forward. We'll certainly be chatting about MCU stuff going forward as well. But Deadpool, had a great time. Definitely had a great time.